Hello and welcome back to Starcraft 1 Part 10. In this episode, we will be nearing the end of the Terran campaign with the most important mission lore-wise in Starcraft 1. The Zerg, overrunning the Confederacy's best defenses, proceeded to lay waste to Tarsonis' major cities and industrial centers. Yeah, we're dicks. We're the bad guys at the moment because we summoned the Zerg on a opposing military faction, but also its citizens and planetary defenses.
I've picked up several dozen Protoss warships descending upon
Kinda makes you want to put down that depleted uranium that you've had lying around causing cancer and shit.
Commander, send Lieutenant Kerrigan with the strike force to engage the Protoss. Captain Rayner and General Duke will stay behind with the command ship.
I don't understand why Duke didn't send...
You two, stay behind.
I don't understand why Arcturus decided to splinter his forces for this, because the whole reason that we're defending the Zerg here is so that the Zerg can finish off the Confederacy. So why don't we send at least Duke along with Kerrigan?
I heard. I'm going down there. Arcturus knows what he's doing. I can't back out on him
buildings
now.
must survive. Kerrigan must survive. Destroy the Protoss
I never
force.
thought of you as anyone's martyr.
Well, you said that there's like a plot twist in this mission.
Yes, there is a plot twist. At the very end, there is a major plot twist.
I know about your past. I mean, I've heard the rumors.
So maybe he's trying to eliminate all competitors for his vie for power.
I saved your butt plenty of time.
Then he should have started with Rayner.
Jimmy, drop the knight in shining armor. That suits you sometimes. Just not now. I don't need to be rescued. I know what I'm doing. The Protoss are coming to destroy the entire planet, not just
The Protoss are coming to destroy the entire planet!
I just know it.
Because that's what they do, Cloud. That's what they did on Marsara and Antigua.
Protoss, we can do something about the Zerg. Arcturus will come around. I know he will.
I hope you're right, darling. Good hunting.
Spoiler alert, Arcturus never does come around. He's an asshole.
Just in general. This mission ends poorly. It also takes a little while to get to the very poor ending.
Yeah. I would like to apologize for the length of this part, but, you know, it takes me a while in order to build up the sizable force that I want to use for this mission.
Buckers on each ramp,
Bunkers.
please.
Yes. Have I actually gone over the main reason why you would want to build bunkers in general?
Bunkers in general? Well, isn't it that they're like autonomous fighting? They're autonomous
I take
defense?
that as a no.
I don't think so.
They're not autonomous defense. You still actually have to fill them with Marines. However, if you fill a bunker with all four Marines get to attack a target at the same time. So it's actually significantly better than having floating Marines because of the variable attack ranges problem. That comes into play, especially during Brood War.
It's like my position is not exactly perfectly to the goddamn millimeter correct. I have to waste animation seconds to move before I can attack.
And that actually fucks over all the other positioning of your units. So yeah.
Also, I didn't know that Kerrigan's first name was Sarah.
Yep, her first name is Sarah.
Lieutenant Kerrigan report.
You know, they just call her by her surname. Stupid
Well,
Harry Potter trope.
yeah, because, you know, because they are a military faction, and, you know, military factions need to be as informal as possible in order for efficiency and effectiveness.
Well, so they'll just call her Lieutenant. Or
Yeah.
They use surnames and rank and titles pretty interchangeably.
Yes, they do.
You watch your ass, Captain.
Yeah, Arcturus calls Rayner Captain every once in a while.
I have altered the deal. Pray, I do not alter it any further.
Vader is not in this game, thankfully.
He might
Although
as well be.
I'm not entirely sure how well Vader would do against the Zerg personally, because aren't Anakin's force powers, you know, relatively easy to disrupt?
Well, like if you just make him really, really angry.
No, not through anger, but through a swarm. If you like give him too many targets to focus on, his power starts to wane after a certain number.
Oh, dude! Like if Luke Skywalker can like hold up his hand and stop an entire like Imperial force from converging on a fucking undefended base, then I think Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader could have done the same thing.
He likely could have, but at that point, Darth Vader is mostly a machine. He has lost a majority of his connection to the life force, as it were. I know that people don't like to bring up that particular connection because it's a prequel thing that supposedly removes the majesty of the entire Star Wars universe, and I'm like, it's a better explanation than what we usually get, which is fucking magic.
Midichlorians.
Yeah, people really dislike midichlorians, and I understand. You know, it does actually, you know, rob some mystery for it. But honestly, it's a pretty viable explanation for how the Force users do what they do. They manipulate the midichlorians around particular objects in order to well, at least when it comes to a majority of the kinetic force powers, you know, like force push and pull, and it doesn't work so well when it comes to persuasion and lightning, but those are, you know, more dark side powers than light side. So
get back, Golden. I must say
also,
though
Kerrigan's range is immense.
I must say though that I could totally see why in Star Wars, like, they would want to put in lore reasons for why Darth Vader would have a weakness. Because if he is part machine, and because the Force derives from living tissues, basically, not inanimate objects, that his powers are actually weaker. But he's still quite formidable.
You want a piece of me, boy?
Yeah. He's not as powerful as Starkiller, right? Then again, I'm not entirely sure if you're familiar with who Starkiller is.
Nope.
Starkiller is from the Knights of the Old Republic games, or is he from? Oh, he might actually be from the Jedi Academy games. Either way, he is supposedly the most powerful Jedi in the expanded lore, as he has the ability to pull a Star Destroyer out from orbit and crash it onto planet side.
Awesome.
It is pretty awesome. It's horrendously overpowered, but it's pretty awesome.
Sometimes you gotta feel like you got God on your shoulders.
Like when you have 6 battlecruisers. Fully upgraded battlecruisers, 12 fully upgraded battlecruisers should pretty much win you any potential mission that you're having difficulty on. Especially when it comes to Brood War, but you don't get access to battlecruisers until way later on in Brood War. So
Yes, Captain.
it can be a bit problematic. Oh, actually, we're at 2-1, and now we're generating 2-2.
Sit. Deploy the forces.
Receiving transmission.
Receiving transmission from proletarian radio signals.
Your forces
Going
are
to
under
hell,
attack.
comrades.
Engage.
All right, the whole reason we're going after the top right base first is because it's actually a weaker base than the bottom right one,
Hailing frequencies open.
and we're running low on resources. So the ability to, you know, move over here safely is rather important to us.
Destroy.
Course. Take it slow.
Set course for justice.
Receiving headquarters. Good day, Commander.
We will kill them with science.
Well, tech as opposed to science.
We're gonna science the fuck out of these guys.
Engage.
Engage.
Hailing frequencies open. Good day, Commander.
Air frequencies overrun.
Make it happen.
We are firing spitwads.
Take it slow. All cars report.
Now, the whole reason I've got the science vessel here is specifically so I can detect cloaked units like observers, because observers do exist in this game. It's just that, you know, it's rather difficult to spot them without a detector. And I want to be able to deny as much enemy vision to the enemy as possible. At least, you know, in theory. The computer is a cheating asshole and actually has black sheep wool on it all times, so it doesn't actually matter that I kill the observers. But I feel better about killing the observers, damn it.
Well, there are fewer units on the board. It's a good thing.
Yeah, but observers aren't combat units. They're very specifically just sight, and as such, having them eat up valuable psi is actually a rather important thing if you're attempting to control what your opponent is producing.
Take it slow.
Take it slow. Like little kid.
Make it happen.
I'm going to pet him when I get home.
Frequencies open.
These fucking
Set a
guys are
course.
cracking up.
Take it slow.
Take it slow.
And yes, I may as well go into what I mean there by saying the Sargas tribe. Each of the colors actually is corresponding to a different tribe of units. For example, the red color for Terrans is a specific denotion for the Sons of Korhal, whereas I think Confederacy is white, and I think purple is specifically Antigua. For Protoss, the blue color is specifically the Sargas tribe, whereas green is always hero units for some goddamn reason. I don't understand that. I forget what the other significant tribes are when it comes to Protoss, but blue is always Sargas.
That was a brief moment of inconvenience back at home base. Moving on.
Yes.
So we're just waiting for these guys to like win the mission for us, aren't we?
Kinda. We will reinforce these. After we have the resources to do so. But we're really low on Vespane right now, and the only way to get more Vespane for us is to take this base so that we can, have more dudes harvesting Vespane. But see, the Zerg are bothering to send Ultralisks at us. That is not nice.
Oh no! Look at all that blood. Evil, swinging bastard. Die.
Repair
that
the
was
bunker.
intense.
Well,
Alright,
almost.
so-
It was 4 units, but still, man. It's not fair that the Zerg get to attack us and we don't get to attack them. It's bullshit.
Well, it's not the Zerg this time. It's the GUI.
It's a Soul
GUI
Dragoon.
plasma
Like that matters.
Receiving transmission.
Good day.
This way, comrades. We are going to get all the vodka.
Oh, look, we are out of resources here.
Damn it. But,
Go,
I mean,
SCV!
we got 1,000 unspent materials. I think we're gonna be good.
600, because we're gonna spend that on a command center, and then the next small amount of minerals that we have on a battlecruiser.
So in order to keep fighting, because you can't stop the Zerg from sending shit at you, your forces eventually are going to rely
Set
on
a course.
supplies.
Take it slow.
Receiving headquarters.
All crews reporting.
Don't chase the rabbit.
I read you.
That's classic misdirection.
Hailing frequencies open.
And there.
All crews reporting.
Now we just got to make sure that this SCV stays alive, and then we'll be able to move. And then we'll be able to move over our primary spawn point. We won't actually be moving our spawn point. We should, but we're not going to.
You won't have a choice pretty soon.
No. This particular starport is where we produce a majority of the battlecruisers for this map.
Nice. I see him running. He has shot himself.
Take it slow.
Please, take your time. I want to enjoy this.
Hailing frequencies open.
Let me
I
just
do
say
like
too
that
that like
line.
you know, we've seen, you know, Cyborg, Kano, Red Eye Man. We've seen alien-looking, SCV-looking dude.
Crews reporting.
This guy looks like he dropped off of the Titanic.
Make it
Now that is because he is Russian.
Your forces
And that's
are
why
under
the
attack.
Titanic sank in the North Atlantic after leaving from Liverpool, England. It's the goddamn Russians. 5 years before the fall of the Tsardom.
receiving transmission.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, so what else do we need to do aside from produce yet more battle cruisers? I think honestly that's all we're going to be doing for the rest of this particular part. Just the
More
production of battle
battle-
cruisers and
more
then
battle
ramming our
cruisers.
12 3-3 battle cruisers into the Protoss and saying, haha, we win. I will say that battle cruisers are not supply efficient, like, at all, but they don't really need to be because, you know, they're like the best combat unit in the entire game.
Yeah, it's a threshold. You get over the threshold with good development strategy. Get the best overpowered shit. You get the most bang for your buck.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Yeah, that Vespene geyser is fine. I mean, it has enough Vespene in it for another battle cruiser at
Receiving
least.
transmission.
Right. Receiving transmission.
Good day, Commander.
It is time to kill.
Now I'm using the Yamato cannon specifically to take down their photon cannons because I don't want to have to deal with decent anti-air defenses.
Oh, for real. Fucking break their hands, dude. They can't swing their weapons.
Yep.
Orders, Captain?
Fuck it. And they try building something else, trying to pull shit from another dimension. Kill the summoner.
Right away,
Make
sir.
him die.
I read.
I've only played like the first couple of hours of Summoner 1. I did not enjoy that game.
Do you summon stuff?
You do! But mind you, the stuff that you're summoning is actually, you know, interdimensional demons, so it's not actually a good idea to be summoning it.
Receiving transmission.
We have found Pandora's box.
Receiving transmission. Good day.
These guys are fucking adorable. Well, I mean, mind you, like, when you're fighting against the Terrans, you don't see what their characters look like. I just think it would be hilarious if you could, because you're being trolled by mustachioed Russian fleet admiral.
Yeah, for competitive play, you want to stay specifically with Marine Siege Tank, but I'm gonna be honest, very few things feel as good as having 3-3 battle cruisers against the AI, especially
I
if you
bet.
have a full fleet.
There's strength in numbers. There is strength in numbers. Proceed. Come, my friends. We have many things to kill.
Yes.
Come, Lord.
Did you ever play the Command and Conquer Red Alert games?
No, I did not, unfortunately.
All right. That's a rather inconvenient spot of minerals.
Deep in space.
Battle cruiser
Additional supply
operational.
depots required.
I need a sandwich.
Base
Ah, shit! Here it is.
Fuck. Oh no. What in God's name? Dude.
receiving incoming
We need
transmission.
reinforcements
Base
over
under
here.
attack.
Neutralize the Protoss, but there's a wave of Zerg.
Is this what we've been waiting for?
We need immediate evac.
Yep.
Belay that order. We're moving out. What?
Your forces are under attack.
All ships prepare to move away from Tarsonis on my mark.
Fuck you, Arcturus.
How about that evac?
Damn you, Arcturus. Don't do this.
It's done. Helmsman, signal the
Helmsman,
fleet to take us out.
Single
Base
the...
is under attack.
Bring me my chair, now. I want coffee. Wow, okay. Are you? Is there any way to fucking repel this crap? Because it look.
Yes,
How is
if you
this
have 10
victory?
Oh, well... In theory, you can actually defend off that Zerg wave, but you shouldn't.
All you have to do is just survive.